All right. As you can see, if you're a YouTuber, I just took my headphones off and I feel like a little self-conscious because it changes the shape of my head. So I'm looking at my face in the video and going, oh, is that really what I look like? So I'm just kind of like messing with my hair a little bit to kind of quaff it out. Anyway, so falling asleep and more. How do you sleep, right? Well, the internet tells us that you need a watch and then you need a device and you need a gizmo and a gadget to tell you what your sleep score is and to monitor your sleep to make sure that you're getting the best kinds of sleep ever. They dump these numbers at you and they say, you got a 76% last night. And when I got a 76% in school, some people felt good about that. I didn't. I start, beating myself up. Oh, man, I'm a C student when it comes to sleep. That's weird, right? And, you hear about people online that are just sleeping so great and you can too, but you're not, right? The media is constantly talking about sleep, but they don't talk about sleep. They talk about the perfect sleep and how you need to have perfect sleep and how sleep cycles are this magical, consistent thing. And there's all this social pressure, right? And it's just like with all the other things, wellness, not only do you have the repercussions of poor sleep to contend with, but you now have to feel bad too. And that's really lame from my perspective, right? It's not your fault, though they make it seem like it's your fault. If you don't have their magic fix, their routine, the special combination that they put out there, you're a problem. It's your problem. The people that have this concoction, this mix, this formula, they sleep great. And you should feel bad because you don't have it. And I say F all of that. That's the best way I could say it. So even the things that really matter, like I mentioned, sleep cycles or sleep hygiene, as it's called, all of those things are super, super important, right? But they're misinterpreted and then incorrectly discussed. And then they're stressed over and worried about to a point that, at best isn't really helping you sleep. And it's a lot. Our cultural obsession with sleep and our pursuit of the perfect night's sleep hurts us, right? And it's an overcomplication when it really doesn't need to be. And so here's the opposite. Instead of an overcomplication, here's an oversimplification to help us better understand sleep and then take some of this pressure off. So first, a bad night's sleep only matters if it affects you. Right. I just said one of the most obvious statements ever made, right? But if you think about it, if you get a bad night's sleep and your day isn't horrible, does it really matter, right? It only matters because of that social pressure. It wasn't a perfect night's sleep, so it's not going to, and then we start telling all of the stories about what could happen and what should have happened. And the best way to do it is just to take the L, man. Take the loss. You didn't have a good night's sleep. You might not be your best self, but you're getting through it and it's not that big of a deal. No judgment. Stop with the stories. We're led to believe that sleep can be optimized. And I'm here to tell you that let's simplify that. No, like your sleep score doesn't need to be a 92 in order for you to be a good person, right? And, if it is more than one night's bad sleep and it's a lot of days in a row and you're not healthy, you don't feel healthy because you're run down, you're not happy, you're not thoughtful anymore, that's something that needs to be addressed, but it's not because you're doing something wrong. Don't beat yourself up, right? So the first way we simplify our sleep is to stop the sleep suffering. Back to our meditation and mindfulness episodes and those lessons, our mental well-being is a big part of this. There's pain and there's suffering. So the pain is that I didn't sleep very well and now I'm not 100% me. Suffering, though, is saying that, there's something wrong with me. I'll never sleep well again, and I'll never feel healthy again. And that doesn't work, man. You could say that you're not doing the right things to optimize your sleep, and, there's something wrong with you, but that's all suffering. So I say simplify sleep by focusing on reality. I didn't sleep well, and it's affecting me. X and Y. No judgment. Continuing with this theme of simplifying sleep, let's reduce all of those potential sleep problems to two specific categories: the inability to fall asleep and the inability to stay asleep. So in one night, you can have both and you can wake up a bunch of times. But what I'm saying is, there's two main events that most of us are going to contend with when it comes to the difficulty sleeping. So, I guess like the reason that I want to clarify that and simplify that is because when you do your sleep research, you'll find that they talk about all these different types of insomnias and the causes and such. And it's really best to just bring it back to those two things, the inability to fall asleep and the inability to stay asleep. So let's look at that first bin, falling asleep. And so the other Dr. Neal says it really well. He says, in order to fall asleep, it's way simpler than all of those articles and such make it. All you need are three things. I call them the sleep trinity. You need a calm mind, a calm body, and a comfortable environment. And so all of that outside advice that you hear about, this is what you need to sleep, and you need this device and this yoga and this lavender and all of that stuff, all of that can get reduced down to three bins. If you're in bed and you're thinking about all the things you need to do, or you have aches in your hips, or you're laying on a bed of nails, falling asleep is going to be difficult because you don't have a calm mind, a calm body, or a comfortable environment, right? So the sleep hygiene, those practices that you can do before bed to help you sleep better, supplements, drugs, all they are doing is to make one or more of those things true, right? Valium, its cousin Ambien, can definitely calm your mind. It's going to calm your body too. CBD, valerian, 5-HTP, magnesium even, all of these are taken for their sedative effects and or their relaxation properties. It's literally muscle and body relaxation is what they do. And so stretching, yoga, daily exercise, all of that stuff is running us like dogs. So that way we get all that energy out and we're not like up all night. It calms our body so we can fall asleep easier. All the aromatic stuff creates calm, comfortable environments, having your Sleep Number mattress dialed in perfectly to you, and lighting control, making sure that there's not bright blue lights in your face. All of that creates comfortable environments for you to sleep. So it can be simplified by looking at falling asleep as three things that are needed: calming your mind, calming your body, creating a comfortable environment. So that's how you can conquer the chaos of all the sleep misinformation as well, because all of the stuff that's out there can just get put into one of those three bins. So when you read it, you can say, okay, well, where does it fit? How does it fit into those three things, right? Which problem am I having as an individual? When I lay down, can I sleep? And if I can fall asleep, then great, more power to you. But if you can't, which one of those three problems are doing it for you? Which ones are the things that are bugging you, right? So this reminds me of our lessons from meditation and mindfulness. We talked about the pain and suffering connection, but it actually plays well here too because of the idea of simple but not easy. Anybody that's done meditation can tell you that it's simple, but it's certainly not easy. I have to just focus my breath at the end of my nose. Well, good luck, because you're going to be wrestling that bear in your head that wants to, think about all the different things. And so sleep is like that. Sleep is a simple thing. You just have to have a calm mind, calm body, and a comfortable environment. Some nights that will come easily to you, but some nights it won't. Some night it absolutely sucks, just like me last night, right? But no judgment. That's the important part. No suffering. Ignore all of that stuff that's out there around sleep and focus on these three things and trying to simplify it and stop obsessing over it. Don't beat yourself up, man. That's not making it easier for you to sleep. So when you're trying to evaluate, how do I sleep better? Well, am I not falling asleep easily? And if you're not, which one of those three things, the sleep trinity, am I not doing correctly? Or can I improve? And what steps should I be taking to make those things better?